It is indeed the season of exposure and judgment, because in the latest very dramatic development, a man called William Simiyu Matere has been charged in court, and his charges are linked to an allegation that he tried to blackmail the current Kakamega governor, Bwana Ferdinand Barasa. But the meat of this very juicy development that has shocked many Kenyans, and many Kenyans are still following it, is not even in that court case. It is in the allegations of blackmail. Because according to court papers, this William Simiyu Matere is a medicine man, a witch doctor, and he was involved in some rituals to ensure that Barasa won the elections, and apparently he used a concealed camera to record these rituals that were being done on Barasa, and therefore the blackmail was a threat to release those photographs and videos showing his alleged client uchi kabisa vile alizaliwa. But for those analyzing the politics, it gets even more interesting than that. Very shortly after this controversy broke, the minority leader in parliament, Opiyo Wandayi, with a group of other politicians, paid a courtesy call to the Kakamega governor. Now, you know, in politics, timing is everything. And so the immediate question would be, did this courtesy call, very sudden, have anything to do with the controversy over the witchcraft during the electioneering period and the resultant case which is now in court, Kibera courts? Is there any link, or are they totally unrelated? Well, it is very clear that Opiyo Wandayi's visit and his group was meant to send a message of support for the Kakamega governor, Ferdinand Barasa. Now, for somebody who doesn't understand Kenyan politics, the immediate concern of what I've just said is as follows. In normal circumstances, when there's such a scandal associated with a politician, isn't the right move to keep away, to distance yourself? Especially because even the reaction from the public so far has been one of shock and disgust. Actually, this also points us to something else that is going on in the back rooms of Kenyan politics. Something else that is going on in the background of this shocking saga. It suggests that there are some political forces behind the exposure of Kakamega governor Ferdinand Barasa. Ordinarily, you pay a courtesy call to show support to somebody who is going through a crisis, and sometimes going through a crisis caused by their enemies, and in this case, political enemies. What? And it gets even stranger, because Governor Barasa has been showing a lot of support to William Samoei Ruto and the UDA regime. And this is despite the fact that he was elected into office through an ODM ticket, Orange Democratic Movement ticket. He was a candidate of Azimio in the last elections. But still, from very early on, he has displayed very strong support for Ruto and UDA. So, how is it that now Opiyo Wandayi, a very prominent and powerful member of ODM, is suddenly paying a courtesy call to Barasa. Yeah. Most probably to show his support. How come? What has changed? What has gone wrong? Well, it should be clear that this tells us that it is quite possible that the blackmail, the threat to leak the very controversial photographs, all these manenos that have put the government under pressure, may have come from the other side of the political divide. That is what this tells us very clearly. What? Wonders will never cease in Kenya. Will they? And for Pio and I to stick out his neck, and I believe he would not do so without wide consultation amongst the ODM leadership, for him to do so would suggest that whatever political gain may be available here is huge. And I'll tell you why. It is because this saga, this very shocking saga, can go in any direction. Where it is now, it is way too risky. Okay? Let me explain. The biggest danger I see here is that somebody could easily use what has been filed in court already to launch fresh accusations, legal accusations, against Barasa. I don't know if most of us are aware that there's something in Kenya called the Witchcraft Act, Cap 67 of the laws of Kenya. Younger Kenyans may not know this, but in 1994, a politician called Musikari Kombo, who was then the member of parliament of Webuye constituency, lost his parliamentary seat in a petition because somebody proved in court that he was involved in some traditional arts, witchcraft, to win that parliamentary seat. This actually happened right here in Kenya. And Bwana Musikari Kombo alienda nyumbani. Yeah, because in the resultant by elections, a man called Saulo Wanambisi Busolo won the Webuye seat, and Kombo stayed in the political cold until 1997. Yeah, that's when he was able to make it back to parliament. But this particular case had an impact on his political career, especially his national political career. You know, I can hear somebody saying, Chris, wacha hizo zako. These witchcraft manenos are African things. Me, I follow Wazungu things, and Wazungus don't believe in these things. Okay? I'm sure you're not aware of the fact that over the centuries, witchcraft has been a major problem in the United Kingdom. Indeed, in 1562, a new Witchcraft Act was passed, which outlawed the execution of people found practicing witchcraft, and limited the death penalty to those who used witchcraft to harm others in the United Kingdom, not in Africa. So please open your eyes. Don't be ignorant. And so what I'm really saying is that this current controversy is very fluid. It could go in any direction. The other side politically could decide to launch a counter attack using the laws of the land. Anything can happen. But of course there are those who are very confident that nothing like that will happen, simply because this thing of witchcraft amongst politicians is normal. It is rampant in Kenyan politics. These people who practice these evil things normally have a field day whenever there's a general election in Kenya. They make a lot of money. Politicians all over the country consult them. That is not a secret. And therefore, this would make the other political side hesitant to follow that avenue, in their counterattack. Because people who live in glass houses do not throw stones. It's as simple as that. You know, in my opinion, the exposure of this thing that has really shocked many Kenyans. There are so many Kenyans who still can't believe. They can't bring themselves to believe. In my opinion, this could be the beginning of the exposure of this evil craft in our politics, and maybe even beyond that. You know, in February 2020, there was an incident at Kakamega Primary School where 13 children died and over 40 were injured. When there was a stampede, you know, the building of this school is multi-storied, and some kids on a higher floor saw something that really scared them, and people linked it to the dark arts and witchcraft. But in that incident, 13 pupils died. And it is also a well-known fact that this part of Kenya, people are always talking about Ukambani, but it is a well-known fact that Kakamega County is also notorious for witchcraft, especially a place called Bunyala. Indeed, not too long ago, somebody warned me, Wanyala women from Bunyala, ogopa, don't go near any woman from this part of Kakamega. Chris, you're going to be finished. Usicheze. Oh yes. Well, I have a feeling that in this season of exposure, we could easily find ourselves in a few weeks or months in a situation where there's a lot of exposure that has taken place. It may have started in this small way, but this may be just the beginning. We could end up in a situation where so many crazy things are exposed to Kenyans. And you know, most of us are very ignorant. And some of us are proud of it. Proud of being ignorant. Oh, please open your eyes. The spiritual exists. And we talk about spiritual issues on this channel all the time. Open your eyes. Season of exposure indeed. What? Jitayarishe. What is ahead will definitely be more than shocking. Now, very quickly before I go, Weekly Intelligence Briefings number 120 will be out shortly. And my oh my, it deals with what is happening currently in Kenya. Behind the scenes, I'm sure many have not noticed. And this thing by itself, leave out tax manenos, leave out corruption, leave out all the other things. This particular thing by itself has the capability of bringing down the UDA government. No kidding. And so if you're already a subscriber, look out for it in your inbox within the next couple of hours. But in case you have not yet subscribed, I have very good news for you. If you head over to my Kumekucha blog, you will find details on this particular weekly intelligence briefings. And you'll also find details on how you can get it for free. Yes, no catch, completely free. And so I strongly suggest to kumekucha.blogspot.com and get all the details you need to get this highly sensitive, moto kuliko pasi ya makaa, weekly intelligence briefings number 120. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.